Hello everyone, and thanks very much for clicking on this video. If today is your first time, my name is Alexander Nyako. Just call me SRC. Now we have just 3 days to the SRC presidential elections on KNUST. And yes, the grounds are already heated. There have been series of events that has actually encapsulated or have actually merged and reared its head as the elections get closer. Now I have episodes of videos I'll be dropping, so please do all to subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and feel free to comment at the comment section. Now in today's video we are going to discuss something very interesting. Now before we have the SRC presidential elections, there are always elections for the aspirants at the traditional halls. And so what happens is that Unity Hall, which is Conti, they will have their election. Katanga will have their election. Africa will have theirs. Queens Hall, Republic Hall, Indies Hall. And they've had their elections. However, as at when I'm shooting this video, I'm here to get the results for Queens Hall, and I will display the results for you guys. However, the aspirants that won the presidential elections at the traditional hall for Katanga and Conti, there was something fascinating about them. Now, they are all second-year students. They all come from the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, which is HESA. And now, here's the bombshell. The guy that won at Katanga is a second-year medical student. And the guy that won at Unity Hall is a second-year pharmacy student. Which means that next year, which is 2026, the KNUST SRC presidential election is going to be more intricate and delicate. That is, if Conti and Katanga are to groom these two guys and bring them to face each other, because of course we know they will never match, but we are more likely to have a more interesting elections next year, especially if it has to do with Conti and Katanga. Mind you, this year's election hasn't been one of the hottest because it has been a one-way sided event. Looks like all the top contenders are coming from Unity Hall, and of course the other ones are not coming from Katanga, and so we are not really feeling the heat. However, let's look at the intricate lessons in today's video. Let's go to Unity Hall. What happened? Now, this second year pharmacy student I'm talking about is the person of Kupi Benjamin, and he ran this particular election with the mantra "A united front built on empathy." And of course, one thing about this particular candidate for the Unity Hall, which is Conti, is that he's a pre-second. And you know, anytime you are coming from alumni, there is always a caucus that pushes you up front. Now, this guy, aside being a pre-second, also merged with Jimajo Sena Nathaniel. He was his vice president. And as you can see, their victory flyer, Yediaba Akpenami. And yes, that was the victory flyer from Unity Hall. Now, the story about Katanga's candidate known as Denzel Nyako Ejay. Now, as I said, he is a second-year medical student. And the interesting thing about this guy is that, in fact, when he was in first year, he attempted to contest for Katanga vice president with a candidate known as Osei Kwejo Ignas. But they were not successful. However, now that he is in second year, he has contested again, but this time for the presidency. And of course, he won it down flat. It looks like he went unopposed because indeed his candidature spoke a lot for him, and you could see that he has done his groundwork very well. Anyone that always, run election unopposed simply means he or she has done his or her groundwork very well. So yes, this is Denzel Nyako Ejay with his vice president Joel Eko Ansa. And yes, this was actually their vetting results displayed. And yes, Denzel has also been victorious. Now let's look at the other candidates from the other traditional halls who emerged victorious. So yes, from Independence Hall or Indies Hall, we have Intiamwa Benedict, the hall president-elect. We have Portia Tete, the vice president-elect. And yes, that is the Great Alliance. And that is from Independence Hall. A big congratulations to the team. And then we go to the Republic Hall. So from the Republic Hall, as you can see, the ideal duo, that was their mantra. We have Patrick Amwa, which is the hall president-elect. In fact, his nickname is Faraday. Interesting. And his vice president was Bright Osei Puku. And in fact, on your screen, as you can see, they were celebrating this victory. And yeah, another big congratulations to this particular team. We go to Africa Hall. So yes, we all know that Africa Hall used to be a female hall. And so, of course, it's not surprising to see a lady championing the fight to be the president for Africa Hall. In fact, if you're a guy and you go and take the president for Africa Hall, Charlie, the way you go, boys best massa. Also, Jama girls in Africa Hall, it be ladies them hall. So yes, we have Juliet Safo, and she was the president-elect. And then we have Tunde Modicious Oye, the vice president-elect. Congratulations to them. And last but not the least, as I said, with Quinso, as at now, I still don't have the results yet. But yes, we know that the aspirants that went for Quinso, I mean, they had two people contesting for president. We have Amuakon Maxwell Braco, and then we have James Jamfi. These two guys were just fighting head on for the presidency. So we want to see the outcome of the results. And hopefully when we get that, we'll share with you. So yeah, these are basically the results from the traditional halls. And this is how we foresee the election 2026 approaching, with Conti and Katanga fiercely contesting this with, their candidate. Of course, we can say that HESA is most likely to be divided if we have someone from pharmacy and someone from medicine. But that does not mean these two candidates can still not stand, irrespective of what is happening in this year's election, where we have Jojo from Conti and then we have Bernard Bosoma Yeboah BBY also from Conti, a split factor, but still it worked. So what it means is that this year's election is more likely to be a battle on the traditional horse, and engineering will also be another important factor to consider in next year's election, because these two candidates will be looking for vice presidential candidates, and most of them will be eyeing engineering, the most political institution on KNST campus. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do well to subscribe to this particular channel, like, feel free to comment, and stay tuned for more. We have a lot of juicy packages for you. Till meet again, let's bye for now.